you're welcome. And what a pleasure it is to be here in Lancashire, in what I consider to be the jewel of the north, Blackpool. Can I just say how nice it is to be in Blackpool? Although it is a bit chilly, I don't think I will go sunbathing or paddling on the beach today. It is far warmer in here, and both of the temperature and the company. Thank you. When I was given transport brief, I set out to design a fully integrated transport policy, and what was joined up included all types of transport. So, being here in Blackpool, I've realised I've missed a bit. I obviously needed to consider your horse-drawn carriages, and the donkeys as well. I've read recently about the contactless payment saddles for the donkeys. It looks like Blackpool is leading the way with the Oyster card for donkeys. Transport is something I've always been interested in, and something of a passion. For me, a passion which is being tested quite a lot with all the travelling I do in my new role. Transport affects all of us, and it is often forgotten just how important it is. We have all used the transport network. All of us here today got here using some form of transport. Be that walking, how many of you walked here today? Or cycled? What about the train? The bus? The tram in Blackpool? By car? And I shouldn't forget motorcycles. Anybody? One sure thing is that we have used the road at some point in our journey, and it is our roads which have been neglected by the current and previous governments. Indeed, the food we eat, the drink, the tea we drink, or maybe the coffee, the clothes we wear, the chairs that you're sitting on, everything has to be moved by road. So why are we, as a nation, planning to spend £55 billion on a high-speed train that we cannot afford? That £55 billion conference works out about £875 for each and every person in this country, or for around 300,000 for those of you in this conference. We do not want a debt that we will leave to your children or the grandchildren. That's how ridiculous this vanity project is. It's a shiny new railway built on massive debts, which our generations will leave to our children. Would you expect to run up a credit card and leave it to your kids to pay? HS2 is part of the European TEN-T project, transport project. Our government is wasting our money on yet another EU-driven project. UKIP will not spend another penny on this. We will scrap HS2. We also now have this proposal for HS3, which links Liverpool through to Hull, here in the north. Again, this is another rail project where even the Chancellor, George Osborne, says he doesn't know how much it's going to cost. The project has been announced, but the cost is not known. Is this anyway to run the finances of the country? We don't need to spend further billions on the train. We don't need. I want to improve the lines we have, including the Transpennine route, at a fraction of the cost. Surely this is a much better way. So what about the roads? After all, most people travel by road. We know the EU are planning a continent-wide road pricing scheme. This has been confirmed by Violetta Bulk, who is an unelected Transport Commissioner from Slovenia. Mrs. Bulk apparently pronounced bullshit, wants all cars to pay per mile, which means tracking and tracing every journey you make. You might have seen these managed motorways or smart motorways built across the country at great expense. The M62 is being upgraded and the M6 from Birmingham as well. These upgrades are not new lanes. They are not resurfaced. They are gantries at every few hundred metres with ANPR cameras, speed cameras, traffic counters and speed limit signs. They do allow the use of the hard shoulder at peak times, but do we really need this across great sections of our motorway? The hard shoulder was built for safety, not as a spare lane on the cheap. I suspect these cameras and monitors are part of the enforcement system for the proposed EU's road pricing and tolling scheme. We will never introduce pay-as-you-go road pricing, and we will scrap tolls wherever possible. And while we're speaking about roads, I think that speed cameras have a place outside schools to deter speeds, but not on the main roads with no history of accidents. We must remove the profit incentive and return road safety responsibility to the police, not private companies such as the companies providing speed awareness training. The same goes for parking fines. We must ensure these are not used solely as a money-making exercise. And as with speed cameras, I would remove the profit incentive from parking enforcement. The British driving licence is one of the most advanced driving certificates in the world. And to drive heavy trucks, drivers need a licence above and beyond the normal licence. Why then do we need the EU to dictate another costly and bureaucratic test called the Driver's Certificate of Professional Competence? This costs hundreds of pounds, takes a lot of time, and is causing a lot of drivers to leave the industry. I do not believe we need another European level of driving licence, so again, UKIP will scrap the driver's CPC. I do not believe we need another, I have any of you seen some of the new electric cars, like the BMW i8 or the Tesla Model S. They are very desirable cars, and the progress with electric cars are fascinating. However, they are also expensive, and you need to be pretty wealthy to buy one. Why then does the government give you £5,000 subsidy to buy an electric car? This is taxpayers' money paid to the people who are already able to buy an expensive car. This should be sold on its own merit, so I will scrap this subsidy. Now, regarding aviation, regional airports, to me, are crucial for businesses and local economies. So we will do everything we can to support them, especially in all of these regions. As I've said, transport infrastructure in this country has been neglected by the establishment parties, and we are now at a point where our infrastructure, which was once the envy of the world, is now creaking at the seams and in a poor state. This must be addressed to keep our country and its businesses running as a matter of urgency. So in conclusion, conference, I would like you all to start getting excited about our upcoming manifesto, and in particular my section on transport. When it is published, you will see very much how UKIP's common sense has been applied by people who have actually had a job, and we have, and have had real life experiences, and we do, that will make real differences in this country. So here we are. There is 53 days left before the election. I couldn't believe it, actually, when somebody said that. Exciting, I believe. These next 53 days and the election results will be part of a political history. You are part of that political history. So, come on, members. Let's get into top gear. Get